Hello everyone, welcome back to the iRacing Simufur LMP2 Championship. I'm Paliku'i Grant, joined by Wolfin Foxdale and Suzuka Shar for today's race. Suzuka, we are back from a couple of weeks of being off. We missed last week, which was Laguna Seca, but I heard it was a pretty good race. Tell us about it.
Unfortunately, I couldn't be at the race, but I really hope that this race met with its standards, because Laguna Seca, a track full of actions and high attrition, and I assume that came into play in last week's race.
Yes, and of course, as we do know, Jordan Johnson did take the win in that one. Unfortunately, we couldn't broadcast it. Our commentary team was out, but thankfully we are here today at Sebring for week 3, and we get to take a look at all the action. Wolfin, talk us through it. It's mostly a flat track, but there's a lot of tricky corners. What are the drivers looking for today?
Well, other than good weather, it's also going to be the fact that of the different terrain changes. This track was in fact built on an airfield. So in going into Ullman Straight and into the main straight, the track is actually concrete, in fact a very rough concrete. So going into the Sunset Curve actually can really unsettle that car. We saw that in the actual 12 hours of Sebring on Friday. Cars just went a little bit offline going into Sunset, and it threw their car offline. Remember, these cars do not have ABS. In the non-concrete parts, the other problem is it's not a lot of passing room and a lot of turns. So we're going to probably see passing opportunities both in Gurney Bend, maybe Cunningham Kerner, somebody's brave. But other than that, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yes, and of course, with Sebring, a lot of tricky corners here. I do know for a fact that even though it's flat and there's not a lot of elevation changes, you still have to take the track into account. The track can really do a number on you here, and you just really have to be careful of how you approach it, as we see Jordan Johnson here on the Ullman Straight coming around Sunset Bend, and I mean, he's been absolutely dominant. Suzuka, what is it going to take for someone to actually beat Jordan today?
Honestly, if what can come into account is incidents. This track famous for incidents, famous for cracking drivers under pressure. So if someone can get under Jordan Johnson's head, I think they could win this race.
Yes, and it's been very much proven. Jordan has been really consistent, as we see a little bit of a oopsie-daisy coming in. But of course, it is practice right now. Everyone is still getting by and trying to make sure that they are all set and ready to go as we pull up our timings here right at the moment. And of course, Jordan with a 1 minute 46.3 to start off. I mean, already very quick, but Cash keeping him honest at a 146.9. Now, of course, as we do know from Okayama, one of the issues here that a lot of these drivers are going to be facing is, locking up the rears and spinning out. Wolfin, what do you think they're going to be looking for in particular here? Not as much elevation changes as I mentioned earlier, but still with the risk of spinning, what are they going to do to keep themselves on the track?
They're going to have to really work on just pedal maintenance, make sure that they aren't pushing too hard and not over braking. If you lock up, you don't really have a lot of room to fix your mistake. You're going to go wide, you're going to go into the grass, and unfortunately, grass does not help you brake. So it's going to be a matter of just watching your lines, finding opportunities when you can, but not to push it too hard.
As we see someone spin out right there, I think that might have been, was that Joker? No, I'm not sure who that was. I think that was, trying to find, I can't seem to nail down who that was.
One of the Simufur cars.
Yes, it was one of the Simufur cars, but anyway, so, I mean, thankfully, again, this is practice. They can spin out, things will happen, but fortunately, once things start to pick up a little bit more, then hopefully everyone will be settled in. I actually want to take a little bit of time and comment on how these drivers have actually been pretty clean up until this point. Not a lot of major incidences that really involved other cars in the last couple of races. You want to elaborate a little bit more on that, Suzuka?
I'm not sure, but clean driving is definitely key if you want to keep those points. So you'd rather have a clean race than try and do some heroics and maybe with a high risk of losing your race.
Yeah, possibly too. I mean, it's especially here, as you can see, as we take a look at Lunar and we come around here just looking at the actual track, it's not very wide in the, the middle sections between, I believe, Cunningham Corner, Collier Curve, and Tower Turn, as I believe Lunar is approaching. But definitely passing opportunities on the Ullman Straight and past Sunset Bend. You think we're going to see a lot of passes there today, Wolfin?
I would hope so, but we've also, as Friday's race has proven, that's going to be very risky. We've seen on the final 4 minutes of 12 Hours of Sebring, somebody tried to go bold going out of Sunset or going to turn 1, and it cost them dearly. 3 of the 4 LMDH hypercars unfortunately met their end not far after that. So we're probably going to see a little bit of competition, but depending on who's going to be brave and who isn't, it's going to be a matter of just that. Who's going to be brave as we see the 27 go wide going into turn 1.
Wow,
and
it's definitely looking like, I mean, that's definitely one way to do it. We're going to possibly see some passes into turn 1, and being that turn 1 is actually a sweeping and pretty wide left-hander, leaves a lot of room for someone to try and take advantage. But as soon as you get into the infield past turn 1, then it narrows, as we can see, coming into, I believe that's the hairpin turn right there, and under Fangio chicane, I mean, you have the wide spaces, and then as soon as you get in the infield, there's the narrow spaces, so you really have to pick your opportunities. As a GT3 driver, Suzuka, when you normally want to take advantage of opportunities, is it when you have a big, huge run, or do you really more want to try and inch your way in there, try and force your opponent to make a mistake?
I'd say a little bit of both. Sometimes I really would like to force a driver into a mistake, but sometimes it just happens by pure pace. I can just have a better run and then just pass him. But it all depends on the corners. So if you have if you have corners that come up to a straight like here, I'd say get the power down, try and use the top speed. But for twisty sections like many of these corners here, actually, I'd say push them into pressure and crack them, maybe see a spin or lock up, whatever. Just take advantage of that.
Yes, and as we saw, I mean, another big place here is Sunset Bend. Now, what we're not really seeing that the drivers are seeing after the while, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go on board with Chloe right now, or just the chase camera. As you can see the car coming in, it's very bumpy right here. And that could lead to a lot of spins, as you can see with Chloe coming through. What do you think for that specifically? Can the drivers take advantage of that? Maybe go on the outside when they're trying to pass? How do you think they're going to pull that off? Wolfin?
I don't know. And it's because it's so unsettling, anything could happen. If you try to go wide, you don't know. You may hit that concrete slab just a little bit wrong, and your car might unsettle itself and you'll spin. And the same thing could happen to the guy you're passing, and that could ruin your race because they could slide straight into you. It's all a matter of just knowing the car and just knowing what risks to take.
As you can see, Jordan, I mean, look at that. You just see his rear end kick out as it really wants to slide, as we have reached the end of practice here. Drivers have had 40 minutes, and now comes the open qualifier. As we discussed in week 1, the qualifying here is open for all the drivers at the same time, so everyone's going to be out there trying to push their laps in as best they can. And again, we are taking a look with Jordan Johnson here as he exits out for the first time here at Sebring for qualifying. Now, walk me through it, Suzuka, because, again, normally we put emphasis in qualifying on shorter tracks, tracks that don't have many opportunities to pass, but Sebring does have opportunities to pass, does have good corners in which you can overtake. Does that take away any of the significance of qualifying in this session, would you say?
Honestly, qualifying is very important. You really want to be in the front here. Regardless of how easy or hard to overtake the track is, qualifying is key. These guys really want to be in front. They want the clean air. They want undisturbed racing, you know. Even in the middle of the pack, you might have attrition. So coming into turn 1, there could be an incident. So you want to be ahead of whatever will come in race day.
Yes, and I mean, being here, of course, everyone's taking their time, trying to, you know, move along as, again, what we see behind. Right now we're watching Jordan Johnson, but right behind is Fez Fox, I believe, in a different livery he was in before. Fez Fox was using the Molto car, I believe, in the last broadcasted race we have in week 1. And speaking of that, there's a couple of other races here that have changed up their paints. One of them, as we noticed, was Dex. Dex now, he was in the Simufur car in week 1. Now he's in the Mystery Machine, getting a little bit of that Scooby-Doo representation in there. What do you say, guys?
I mean, I guess he's looking for a mystery or something, but, you know, it's a beautiful little livery. Kudos to whoever made this. It's a very cute livery, very cartoony, very nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's an homage to my childhood, so I approve.
Now let's take a look here. We're gonna go ahead and ride on board with Dex as he goes out for his first flying lap here. Whoop, wrong camera. All right.
Oh.
So, as you can see, very bumpy coming out of Sunset Bend, but I'm going to walk you through the lap as Dex hits his qualifying lap. So, from the start checkered, you have the straight from the start-finish line into turn 1, which is a sweeping, fast left-hander and really wide. Great for opportunities to overtake there as you come into turn 2 as the track really narrows and you have to brake quickly, but not too much. The apex is late as then you come into Gurney Bend, which is through here. You gotta make sure you don't go too wide. You're gonna get an off track, but even worse, you may hit the wall. It's a high speed curve that goes into a hard braking zone into the hairpin turn right here as you come around, and you gotta make sure, again, you don't exit too far as there's a little bit of an S curve there. Then you go into the Fangio chicane. Coming into another easy braking zone after the Fangio chicane is the Cunningham corner. Not too hard braking here, but just enough to give pause as you want to nick the apex into Collier curve right here. This is where we may see different lines, because coming into tower turn, you can either get straight here, as you see Dex does, or you can run wide and see if you can get a wider angle through there. Through the Flying Fortress straight, Dex goes as he heads to Bishop Bend, and then right after Bishop Bend, Genbedin Bend right here, coming around, and then Le Mans curve, leading into the Ulman straight. This, if any other corner is most important, it's the Le Mans curve, leading to a very, very long straight. Perfect opportunities to overtake here if you can get the exit and get the run, as we finally come through again, Sunset Bend, and we'll see where Dex places on the timing score as we see the times coming in for the first time. And Dex crosses the line with a 146.4 provisional P2. Not even less than a 10th away from Jordan Johnson. Of course, Dex, as we know, has been on Jordan's tail, pun intended, for the majority of this, I believe, championship. And Dex proving once again that he belongs up there.
Does this mean we're going to have a nice little cat fight today? I kind of hope so.
I hope so. I really would like to see some of the other furs just get at it out in the front, and it's just great to see, you know, all the competition here. I mean, just note, as we've explained before, as Dex, I believe, is going to go for another run soon, we head back to Jordan Johnson, but Jordan has been, again, providing the setups for everyone here, and he's been putting a lot of the work, but that doesn't mean he can rest on his laurels by any means. There are all these talented drivers here gunning for that win, and, I mean, we hope we'll see even better competition, because it's really shaping up to be a good start, especially at the wide straights of Sebring.
I also want to point out these cars are actually built for this track. Again, these cars race here for the 12 hours of Sebring. So it's a car that's a lot more comfortable than, say, Okayama or Laguna Seca, where they don't really race there too often, if anything, for like a special event. Here, they do this in competition. So it's going to be a fun little race, that's for sure.
And meanwhile, Chloe bumps up with a 147.5 to put himself just behind AJ to the top 5, as AJ from Lead Paul Racing heads around the track in their Toblerone LMP2 car. And, that's something to be said. There are a few teams competing in this race, but most of them, they're just representing themselves, or they're just having a blast out there. And I think that's one of the beauties of this league and, Simufur. You just have that enjoyment of racing or simulation, Come and join us. What do you say, guys?
I agree. I mean, Suzuka and I are on the same team, and we represent our team very well in Assetto Corsa. And the team factor is it's just for the fun. And especially here, I think there's technically only 2 teams here. That would be Jordan Johnson's Pure Sims and Chloe's, though I don't remember the name, I believe that is also another professional team. It's all the rest are just, they're here for fun. They're here to enjoy themselves and have a little fun out racing today with friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we see here, I believe that's Fez stuck behind Bracken at the moment.
That
Bracken
is not gonna help him.
No, Bracken's still, trying to find a lap. I believe they are on their flying lap right now. And another highlight is just, even though with, the time differentials, everyone here is so helpful. I mean, I've mentioned already, Jordan with the setups, everyone in the chat is so friendly. I mean, even my fellow commentators here, Wolfin and Suzuka, I mean, it's an awesome bunch, I must say. It's always great to be with you guys.
Oh yeah, it's always fun, and just doing, and this is just doing commentary is very enjoyable. Yeah, it's great to sit down and sit in the seat and go for a few laps, but just enjoying watching a circuit, calling it for you guys is also a very enjoyable experience, and it's fun. You get to experience it from a different viewpoint and to try different things. So.
Definitely. And hopefully we'll see more as Bosch boy sets lap. He goes really wide, almost loses it, manages to hold on and actually complete the flying lap, I believe. Or did they go? Yes, they did.
That was
P11.
Not
As
bad.
we see Attic come by. Also, don't believe there was an improvement there, so we're taking a look, again, at all these different drivers, all out there. Just, again, another note to see how competitive it is. Top 5, all within a second and a couple of hundredths of each other. And then, within 2 seconds is pretty much 1st and 10th place. So, I mean, it's one of those tracks where, again, just like Okayama, all you have to do is just be in the hunt. Just be close. You don't have to be, winning it, and really anything can happen.
Yeah, 100%. You don't win the race on the first lap, and that is something that transfers to any race. It's always just try to survive, as we see Lunar get a little bit loose coming out of the corner. It's just about just staying on your own pace, staying near ahead of the guy ahead of you, and just hoping something happens, or maybe a little luck lands next to you and you are able to either get by or maybe even take the win.
Jordan, again, with a couple of fast sectors there, and I think he just set a faster time of 146.35. but everyone's still trying to beat him. Jordan is the one to beat. And again, Jordan coming across the line, beating himself with a 146.2. And so we'll see if Dex can match that or improve, or if anybody else can knock on the door of, Jordan's really fast Pure Sims LMP2.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. I know Jordan's been insanely dominant these past few races, and and I think that comes down to both experience and just understanding of the car. This isn't the first time he's raced at LMP2. This isn't the first time he's, driven in series like this. This isn't the first time he's driven in Sebring. So we'll just have to wait and see. But experience doesn't save you from an accident. So
and right now, Raphael coming down the line. Raphael not having set a time yet. So we'll see where he places or not.
He's coming in the
diving
pits.
into the pits. Okay, interesting. Maybe he didn't like the lap he was on. Maybe he needs to configure something, but he is running out of time. We are 11 minutes through this, so we're past halfway as we ride with now Blade Wolf. Blade Wolf coming down here, also not have setting a time yet, but I believe they are on their flying lap. We'll see where they position themselves coming across the line. And this is another tricky thing too, because this track is a little bit longer than the ones. As
a bit too wide.
Blade Wolf goes really wide and is getting flashed by the 62 of Joker. But of course, having not set a time, you want to be able to get it through there. Meanwhile, Akash has set a quicker time, but Jordan responds again with an even faster 146.19. Can we see a 145? We are close to that. Dex again pushing hard, but has not been able to best a sector yet, as you can see on your bottom left of your screen there. All yellow sectors through, so this may not be an improvement. Let's see what the time he posted here. No, it was not. That was a 149.17. Looks like backed off a little bit. May have been setting for this lap. No, he's pulling off.
Not backing up either.
So we're running out of time here. Now we're on board with Cash coming down Gurney Bend to the hairpin. And, I mean, right now Jordan's looking absolutely dominant. I mean, a good more than 2.5 tenths above Dex.
And again, this comes to, as I said earlier, experience and understanding of the track. Again, he's been at this track before. There are a few people who like Dex and Chloe and Lunar. Ooh, it gets a little loose. And we'll just have to it's just a matter of wait and see. Everything is really decided on the race, not qualifying.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice to be ahead, but that anything can happen.
Yes, and that's the beauty of especially, racing these LMP2s. And again, the race is for an hour, so there's still a lot of race to go there. Meanwhile, as we were talking, Josiah sets a time to get 6th place. So, I mean, wow, it's been great stuff so far.
Yeah, 6th place, and I'm going to point out that between 6th and 8th place, there's only a difference of about not even 200ths of a second. Very close racing from our drivers.
Yes, and it's definitely going to play out here. I believe for Sebring, the drafting is actually going to come into a factor, especially in the Ullman Straight. But I think an even more telling, a little bit squiggly there coming out of Le Mans curve, but one of the telling signs for these drivers, if they're going to be able to take advantage of, is going to be this section right here. Le Mans curve, Ullman Straight into Sunset Bend. Because you can get a good run on the Ullman Straight, but if you can't capitalize and hold it in the Sunset Bend, they'll get you right back in the start-finish straight.
Yeah, it's just going to be very, very close, and I really don't know. Like, for me, it's so, with the way everything is, it couldn't be Jordan's, it could be anyone's, really.
Oh, and I think Josiah had to abort there, as I believe that was Moonstar behind, just really kind of holding him up for the lap a little bit, but pulling alongside. A note, usually for our drivers here at Simufur, we are used to racing in a set of Corsa Competizione. And one of the nice things about ACC is that they do have an intricate flag system where if you are a slower car on an outlap and there is another driver doing a flying lap, you will get a blue flag to notify you that you need to pull over, unless within Simufur we have these no stop zones and no passing zones. But with iRacing, there's no such thing. There are no blue flags shown to drivers that are just on their outlap. So it's really up to the driver's awareness to understand if somebody's on a flyer or if someone is just, you know, hanging out behind you. And again, another interesting dynamic, especially with these open qualifiers.
Yeah, and it's also a bit of a scary aspect of it because you don't know. You could run into somebody that's off the flying lap and you are trying to pass them, but they don't realize that, you know, you may be on an off lap, but the guy behind you is.
And as we see Jordan Johnson coming through, he is nipping every little piece of time he can. That lap he just set was the fastest of the session, but only by 1/100th of a second. Is he reaching the limit?
He might be, but who knows? We've said this before, and we've been proven wrong before. I wouldn't be surprised if he did hit 145s by the end of this.
As we go back to Dex now, so Dex is the one still P2, still strong out there, but really, can Dex make the time up to just find those last 3/10 to put it on Jordan? I mean, Jordan with absolute stunner so far. It's going to be quite a task. Let's see if Dex is up to it.
Yeah, he's. I don't think he's going to get it this lap. We'll have to see, but he's definitely seems to be on a really good run right now. So we'll just have to wait until he gets to the start-finish line.
Very much so. It's just everything that we've seen so far. It's pretty amazing, Ken. And it's not like these LMP2s are slow either. They are quite quick. As we're gonna go ahead and ride on board with Dex coming out of Gendbein Bend here and going to Le Mans Curve. So let's go ahead and get on with him. So coming around now, Sunset Bend. Let's see if he can set another fast time. Do the start-finish straight here. Oh, that was his flyer, and it wasn't enough. A 146 cannot improve. That's unfortunate. But that leaves the door wide open. There's a minute and a half, and I believe for this one, once qualifying is over, there is no finishing the lap. Once qualifying is over, that is it. So we are on with Akash right now. Let's see if he can get anything done with the time. Let's ride on board.
Coming into the Gurney Bend, I suppose after this corner. Yeah, this is the Gurney Bend right now, as they go into the long straight before the hairpin turn. Where will they break? Will it be a nice line? Let's see.
Oh, it's a little late, but he gets it in there, hits the apex nicely, coming out of the hairpin turn. Now on the Fangio chicane. It's gotta be a flyer. It's gotta hit those marks wherever he can. Let's see, coming into Cunningham Corner where he'll break. Ooh, also late, goes all the way to first. Shifts it into second, coming out into the Collier Curve. Let's see what line he takes. He's gonna go wide. No, he shifts it all the way to the left. Oh, has to struggle with it a little bit, but manages to keep it in there. This lap will still count. That was not an off track. He's coming through from the tower turn, flying Fortress straight through Bishop Bend. Here he comes. Gendbein Bend around. Oh, he goes wide. He has to abort, and he was unable to make use of it. However, it's not over. Josiah here coming in the straight. Will he make it to the checkered flag in time?
I don't think
the
so.
session's ended, but As long as it doesn't cut off, this will count. He manages to cross. Is it enough? Is it enough of an improvement of a time for him to move up?
It does not look like
no,
it.
it was not. It was a 151.09. And so Josiah will stay where he is in 6th. As I believe the last of the qualifiers are coming around. Oh, Chloe just went off track. I think. We'll see if Chloe continues. Chloe looks like they're continuing on. And Chloe's coming through right now. Gendabine Bend, around Le Mans Curve, onto the Omen Straight. Keeps it in there. Okay, it looks like this lap may count, but can Chloe get anything else done here? Ooh, this is kind of exciting.
Yeah, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
One more way to go for Chloe.
This is it. Nice exit to Sunset Bend. Nope, dives into the pits, aborted the lap. Unable to do anything more with it, as he has a little fun.
Furious with that.
And then Dipping Sauce finally crossing the line. And this is how it ends up here today. And the finish of qualifying, wow. The little celebration coming out. Oh, and I believe that should do it for qualifying. Wow. Well, of course, we know who's on top right now. You know, that's... that is Jordan Johnson at the moment. But we are waiting right now for the finalization of the order at the moment. As I believe qualifying is still finishing up. We're wondering what exactly is going on. Normally qualifying cuts at the start time, but here everyone is finished. So we're just waiting for the session to move on. But wow, I mean, as you can see, they're really close to the limit here. It's going to be wild to watch. What do you think, Suzuka?
Oh, I feel like this race is going to be something else. Sebring, last time out in WEC and IMSA, we saw quite some action out there. I hope it reflects the same here in Simufur.
Yes, we are still waiting for qualifying to finish. As I believe we have. Perfect. It has finished. Wolfin, would you do the honors? You want to give us the rundown here? Our starting grid here for week 3 at Sebring.
All right. In the first row, we've got Jordan Johnson and Dex, followed by Akash and Lunar in the second row. Third row is going to, in 5th position, is going to be AJ, followed by Josiah Wusky in 6th position. In 7th position, we've got Danny, followed by Fezbox right next to him in 8th place. In 9th place, we've got Chloe next to Dipping Sauce. And in 11th, we've got Alexander Wood and Bracken.
I believe we got 2 mix. That's Dipping and Alex.
Yes.
Dipping and Addict, yeah.
Dipping
yes.
with 11th, Bracken in 12th. No worry. Go ahead, continue.
In 13th, we've got Joshua Spriggett and Nathaniel Norbury, followed by Snowdog and Moonstar in 15th and 16th. Blade Wolf and Zeem being in 17th, Blade in 18th. Raphael Hull and Joker in 19th and 20th, and rounding out the field is Sierra Thomas.
Yes, and
last
also
three did not qualify.
No, it doesn't look like it. And also, we would like to apologize real quickly. We've been having some troubles getting proper names up for all of our members here at Simufur. Joshua Springett as Bosch Boy, we were unable to put that in there. I'm not sure, but we will definitely have that fixed next time. We always strive to get everyone here as representative as they can. Is one of the things we like to, have here for everyone. Is just the sense of inclusion. And so I'm unsure why the start lights are up here, but we are...
Safety car's rolling.
The safety car is rolling. They do all have I believe, a formation lap, a pace lap before the race starts. So we're going to go ahead and, take a look and watch. And right now we're just with Jordan Johnson coming around the first corner. It's a full safety car lap here today.
Yeah, it's not like Okayama where it was just the last corner. This one's going to be a full lap around, just like ACC.
which is quite interesting. I wasn't expecting a full
I wasn't
full
either, but
pace lap.
Pally, you're used to this. Isn't that based off the track, or is that kind of or is that done like in server?
No, so generally the pace car lap is set by iRacing to whatever the track, is. But I find it interesting because Okayama is significantly shorter than Sebring, but that only had like half of a pace lap. This one a full pace lap, so I mean it may affect fuel. It may affect fuel today. Well, we shall see.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. I was not expecting that either. I was expecting another half a run, and I guarantee you, we weren't the only ones a little bit surprised by this. It'll all play later in the race, though. It just means adding a little more fuel or probably pitting earlier.
Exactly.
So we'll just have to wait and see.
We got a cache here. We're riding on board with them right now. Just as you can see, the tension's rising. Everyone's relaxing. Usually in iRacing public lobbies at this point you get some weavers, but everyone's being really considerate here, and so we may see some weaving in the Ullman Straight before, but as we know, it's up to Plasma Jordan Johnson to start this race. So after the pace car pulls in, Jordan controls the pace speed, and then from there, after the pace car pulls in, Jordan has the option to start whenever he wishes, or when the green flag drops, everyone starts regardless of what Jordan does. So, I mean, definitely as the top person here, you have the advantage.
Oh yeah, and it's all going to be down to Jordan Johnson when he wants to let go. Is he going to start early and try to get an early run, or is he going to try to maybe psych people out by slowing down a little bit before hitting the green flag? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and we do have, I believe, 20 drivers here. I believe there may be a couple of drivers starting from the pits. I see on my timing screen, Blade Wolf and Sierra have not gridded up. Yes. So they may be starting from the pits. But anyway, as we come down the Ullman Straight, this is it. This is where everyone's going to be right now. So we're going to currently wait until the pace car comes in.
Yep, here we go, down Sunset. Pace
down
car
Sunset. As you can see, Jordan is slowing now, so Jordan is controlling the speed. And as soon as the pace car darts in, Jordan controls the start. As we can see here, they're coming down here as we see Barney with the green flag, and Plasma is off, Jordan Johnson is off,
already.
And we are racing here at Sebring as we come down into turn 1. Jordan up in front, followed by Dex. Everyone's clean, and Jordan's got a nice lead away from there. And everyone coming through turn 1 looks like there was a 3 wide there. Everyone made it out okay. So everyone nice and neat coming out here at Sebring for the start of this hour for the LMP2 iRacing Championship. We'll take a look here. Yes, as we can see, Jordan, he is heading out.
he's going for yet another Sunday cruise, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it. But Dex right now under pressure from a cache, but everyone's in a nice, neat file. It's coming down right now. Collier Curve. Cunningham Corner going into Collier Curve right now. Everyone taking it easy, playing it smart, as they know this is an hour. You don't have to be the hero right away. Meanwhile, I believe we had an incident. Snowdog in the back has spun along with, I believe, Moonstar. That's not good. A multiple car incident. I think that's also...
That's Zeem too,
I think that's Zeem involved. Yes, it is Zeemed. Oh my goodness, we're going to have to take a look. Let's go back first to Bosch Boy's incident, and we'll take a look from there.
Bosch
has already spun. I wonder if that was just the beginning of what happened. It seems like there was a spin, but before that, he just comes to a stop.
Yeah.
That was interesting. There might have been a spin there. And then let's go back to Snowdog and take a look at what happened.
So it's no doubt
Alright.
too wide.
It's too wide there. I believe that's with Fez.
No, that's
That's Joker.
That's Joker.
Joker.
Oh, and spins.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So,
Ooh, it's
but
very
thankfully,
close, though.
yeah, thankfully, it looks like Moonstar and Zeem managed to avoid incident. So, whew, that was a close one. And so they're back racing now as we click onto the lead here with Jordan. And this is a similar sight. We have Jordan followed by Dex, Akash, and AJ all together. And as we do note, back in Okayama, they didn't give each other an inch either in that race as well.
No, they didn't. And here, and they're doing the same here. There's not a lot of space between everyone, so it's fairly close. Any mistake could cost you here. So we're just gonna have to wait and see as we see. Ooh, Dexco was a little bit wide, but it wasn't. Nobody was able to capitalize on that.
Yes, and that's just what the difficulty here is for it, as I believe Joker, meanwhile, has passed Attic. As we move back a little bit, taking a look, as we do know, I mean, Joker, the lucky dodge.
Now, does that look like a little bit of damage to the 21? I can't tell, but it does definitely looks like it.
I'm not sure. It doesn't appear to be damaged too much, as I believe Nate, meanwhile, has gone off the track for a little bit. Nate seems to be driving his own race, and you know what? You can't blame him sometimes. One of the things that, you know, you love when you get out there, even if things don't go your way all the time, you can still keep up. You never know what happens until, you know, the end of the race. That's another thing. The lovely thing about iRacing is sometimes you just blink out.
Yeah, just blinking. The normal thing in iRacing.
I also want to point out, last lap, Josiah was the fastest lap. Josiah putting on the pace already compared to a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the gearbox of Jordan Johnson as we just take a look as you go through the corners, how close you can get. I mean, look at the launches. I think that's one of the things Jordan really has at the exits of curves. He really knows how to put on the power and not let the car slide, which is really important for tires.
Yeah, it really helps for tire conservation and just overall exit speed, and that means you are able to race harder, longer.
Everyone's still moving along. Not many position changes so far. A few drivers out there with mistakes, but honestly, so far, it's been pretty even all about.
Yeah, nice and even, nice. Well, we've had a couple incidents, but nothing too huge. People were able to recover, so we'll just have to... Everything's so far so good. That's all that matters, really. It's...
Closer to Jordan Johnson.
Plasma and Dex is making for the move. Jordan has to go defensive on the inside there. Dex is on the outside, coming into Sunset Bend.
Move for the lead.
And is Dex going to make it hold out? It's going to be really difficult as there's a big bounce. But he has the exit speed. Can he get more traction out there? Plasma goes right.
The top three.
Holds him through.
Turn one.
Akash looks through his mirrors. But they still hold together, hold the line. Wow, what racecraft from these drivers managing to hold it. And they're all within a second of each other.
Not even a second. I want to say with not even a half a car length separates Jordan, or a full car length is between Jordan and Akash. They're right there, bumper to bumper. Anything can happen.
Yes, and that's the beauty of this. I mean, almost had the pass done and dusted, but can't manage to capitalize at the end. Jordan with a really nice defensive move in there.
Yeah, and let's not come into the fact of the concrete. Once again, almost taking another victim, his Dex had to go wide, and unfortunately that bump, I think, unsettled the car just enough for him to lose his little run going into Sunset.
Yes, and you know, as you do note, with these drivers here, especially with the passing, they're so close that even if you try a move, if you don't get it, you run the risk of getting passed yourself, as we saw Akash almost stick a nose in there.
Yeah, he definitely tried to capitalize on that, and it almost worked to his benefit, but he wasn't able to seal the deal.
And as you can see, I mean, Jordan is trying to get away from Dex, but just can't. as you can take a look at the relative on your bottom right for the battle for first. Dex just hanging in there, just making sure Jordan knows that he's there, ready to capitalize if he makes a mistake. Jordan just has to keep it in there, keep that concentration for everything it's worth to keep that lead.
Yeah, he's definitely now realizing he's not going to be able to take this win so easily. Dex wants it, and he wants it bad. And he's definitely trying to push him right at the limit as they come into turn one. Dex goes a little wide, but not too bad.
Yes, and meanwhile, I think we're taking a look back here. I believe Attic Racer is knocking on the door of Joker right now. We're 12th place. Really wants that move done. We'll take a look at this little mini battle going on here. But as you can see how close they can get, it's just not really working out. Ooh, goes a little wide. Takes a little bit of rear tire wear there, but manages to hold it. And that's the thing we saw all the time at Okayama. It just, once your rears just kick out a little bit, you run the risk of just spinning out.
Yeah, it's also when you brake. If you brake, your tires slide, and then all your grip is gone. In fact, your car doesn't even turn, depending on how fast you go. And that can mean the end of your race. You could slide into the grass, slide into a wall, anything.
And let's ride on board here as we can take a look. It's Attic, I think, just lost a little bit of momentum there, but still keeping it on his Joker. Ooh, almost loses it.
That was a lot of momentum.
Yeah, that was a lot of momentum. Manages to recover. That's going to cost a little bit of time. As you can just see, the amount of concentration and the amount of skill needed to keep these cars going as fast as they are is just really something to behold. Now, as we come on the Omen straight here, you can see that even if you're just half a second, you don't get much. Maybe a tenth back on your opponent in front of you. Ooh, as he gets real close.
Ooh, the concrete almost struck again, and he goes a little
almost,
bit wide,
but he's got it. He's got a decent run. He's slowly gaining up to only 2/10 separate them both. Ooh, backs out a little early, but it's going to hold it in the line, wants that exit, but doesn't get as good of an exit as Joker. It just has to hang back a bit. And that's another thing. You could just see Joker's rear tires, just looking at this angle, it's sliding almost all over the place.
Yeah, and that's a credit to the drivers themselves, because really any little mistake and your rear end could just be sliding anywhere to the left, to the right, and you'll be gone. And that's your race done.
Yeah, but thankfully manages to keep it. But wow, just absolute perfection up there so far. Jordan is still holding on, starting to slowly build the gap with that consistency as we take a look at the intervals here. I mean, he's almost pulled the second on Dex. Almost. But just can't get away so far.
No, he can't. He is still within the gap of getting caught, especially during pits. I wonder if Dex is probably maybe saving his tires. Maybe he's going to try to go for a pit strategy to get ahead of Jordan. And if that's the case, that'll probably be smart, because if he can hold up Jordan Johnson, he might be able to secure the win.
Here we go on Omen Straight. As we were looking earlier, Joker, and Attic Racer on it, coming into Sunset Bend. Who will have the line right now? I believe Attic has the inside, so he dips in there. Can Joker get the better exit? Ooh, almost runs into him coming out, but does get a decent line. However, Attic makes it stick, as Attic does take 12th place here. Joker just has to settle down and stay back and wait for another move to open up.
Yeah, that was a little bit
too right here could be it.
Slow down the corner.
Oh, but thinks better of it. Breaks a little earlier. Had the momentum, but had to stay back. And that's where the track narrows.
Yeah, it looks like they got a little loose coming out of that corner. So that cost them even more time.
Yes, but Attic now up to 12th. So good pass there. as we move up a little bit to 9th place as we see Dipping Sauce threatening, I believe that's Danny, and then Chloe threatening Dipping Sauce.
Yeah, nice little three-way battle going on here. We'll see what happens. Chloe right on the bumper of right
Oh, looks like he's gonna try and stick a nose in there. Oh, hits the curb wide.
My goodness.
But still manages to hold it. Oh, hits a little bit of grass, has to go wide.
Oh no.
Oh, that could have been a lot worse, but thankfully, everyone manages to stay in there for now. Wow. And Chloe flashing the lights.
Kind of a scary moment for
Maybe
Chloe.
maybe a little peeved at Dipping Sauce there, but no, that was nice. Good, clean racing all around. No one's hitting each other yet. I mean, you can see these cars every time they come into Sunset Bend, they bounce. It's unsettling to say the least. And I believe, meanwhile, because of that little battle, Danny said, "Bye-bye, see you later," and just keeps heading forward.
Yeah, he's going and gone. Thank you for this little battle. I will take full advantage of that and have a nice day. And the gap is now increasing.
Chloe's coming back once more, I think.
Yes, Chloe is coming back, does not want to give this up. And I cannot blame Chloe one bit. Chloe has the pace on Dipping Sauce right now, and if can Chloe get any closer, the draft will come into better play here.
Yep, and here we go. Is Chloe going to try to go for the move here? No, he's going to try to gain a little bit of time.
No,
wait for the move on the inside, but thought better of it. He's going to maybe try again.
He's going to try and go wide. And this corner right here, coming into Tower Turn, that's where all the different lines come into play. And we could see a couple of moves, maybe ill-advised, but Chloe right on the bumper of Dipping Sauce, almost pushing him along.
What is this?
Gendbine Ben going through. Chloe definitely wants this position, needs the better exit here.
Here we go, better
Will Chloe
exit.
get it? Oh, Chloe gets the same exit, but now the draft comes into play. Chloe closing the gap on Dipping. Will Chloe make the dive?
Maybe.
No, thinking a little better of it. Again, now the better opportunity presents itself. Can you get it here on turn 1 after the start-finish straight? And this is the lovely thing about this course, is you can go through these sweeping turns, and there's so much room to play with. Meanwhile, headed up front, I believe AJ's made a mistake and is now being hunted down by Lunar right behind for 4th place. And there's battles all over right now. Danny with Fez Fox a little bit behind us. You can see them appearing on the screen now. And then, of course, Chloe and Dipping Sauce in their own little battle for 9th. And let's not...
shows he gets a little bit wide.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit. And Lunar just lets off a little bit there, just trying to stick with him. Going back to Chloe now, getting ever closer.
Closer and closer, almost on the front.
Chloe
is back.
Chloe, I think I know what Chloe is doing right now. Chloe is trying to see exactly where the right place to strike for this driver in front, Dipping Sauce. You have to be able to either beat them on the exit of the corner or pull enough momentum on your own car so you can slingshot by them before the apex of another corner. And we saw how close Chloe was to Dipping Sauce. I think it's only a matter of time before Chloe makes the move.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I also want to point out the mental factor of this. Chloe was literally right on the bumper of Dipping Sauce. Imagine the mind games you're playing there, and you play enough of them, and you might be able to make your opponent make a mistake. It's just a matter of time.
Meanwhile, I think Bracken made a mistake going off track. Oh yeah, almost hits the wall. Yeah. Oh, he's going to pull over. Yes, I think he might have hit the wall. Let's take a look back and see what happened with Bracken. Bracken coming through, a little bit unsteady there, but still manages to hold it in. Let's see, I believe we are coming to... Oh, he just goes,
Oh,
goes
wide.
super wide. And then he just hits the wall. And now your steering is just, you can't go any further than that. Oh, that is a tough way to go.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
We're here with Fez Fox now. Just a nice little hey, how do you do as you take a look at their livery.
Oh.
I think that's what I saw. Yeah, see? Hey.
Yeah. I didn't even know.
And I see damage. I actually see damage on the side of Fez Fox's car.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah.
Yes, take a look.
Before we cut in, I noticed that Fez was trying to make a move into turn 1.
Oh, and you can see Dipping Sauce and Chloe are catching up behind.
Maybe he hit him. We'd have to look, but maybe they made contact.
Maybe. I didn't see anything that actually happened in the back that had Fez Fox with damage, but it could have just been a scuffle for a position somewhere down the line. But yeah, as you can see, Dipping Sauce is catching up. Almost about a tenth a sector.
Yeah, maybe hit me some minor aero damage, or maybe some minor suspension damage.
Maybe. I mean, look how deep you see Fez going through here, but look at Dipping Sauce. Oh, it's pulling into the pits. Yeah, exactly. And that allows Dipping Sauce to get to 8th, Chloe to 9th. And I believe that's Raphael behind, rounding out the top 10. And just like that, you know, you can see the dynamic change.
Yeah, I wonder if there was contact. Like I said, I noticed as we were fading to the replay, Fez was trying to make a move. Maybe they got too close. We'd have to see. But...
might have, but I believe I do see a pass that involved Danny. We can go ahead and take a look. Let's just go ahead and see. Actually, you know what? No, we're gonna go ahead and stay here. Chloe is again knocking on the door of Dipping Sauce's
bumper.
Chloe wants this move done and dusted. You can just see it.
You can see it.
Oh man. Braking real late, staying real close, and just wanting to make the move work.
Is this the move? Is this the move? They're
Let's
really
take a look.
close up.
We're back, and goes wide, and I believe that's a little bit of damage on Dipping Sauce I see out in front. I think that's the rear right. There's a little bit of damage. Might have been a tap there.
A minor one, but a tap nonetheless.
Oh, Chloe's he's knocking on the door, but Dipping Sauce is saying, nope, you can't come in. Oh, but he goes wide!
Did you say that?
As he says I say that, he goes wide. Chloe makes it right by him real quick. Makes some real quick work, and that's exactly what you have to do, capitalizing on just one mistake, and that's all it takes. Dipping Sauce not being able to handle any more pressure from Chloe, and Chloe says, thank you very much, I will take 8th place.
Yep.
Finally, the move is done for Chloe.
And Chloe. Look who else has been taking advantage of that, the 21.
Yes.
Not too far behind.
Raphael right behind, catching up too. I mean, Raphael's licking his lips right now. It's like, okay, he took him. Now it's my turn to take him.
Yeah, as we see, I think Chloe got a little loose coming out of that corner, but not too much.
Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look, moving up with AJ, as I believe that's Lunar behind. I mean, there is battles going on all over the place right now.
And I'd also like to point out that the the distance between Jordan and Dex is not even it's a little over half a second. So it's not out of contention yet for the lead, which is going to come down to if somebody makes a mistake.
Yeah, and we are 21 minutes here into the 1 hour race, and so far, I mean, still plenty of action going on here at Sebring. And I love this about this league. It's just no matter where you look, you could go up to the leaders, in the mid-pack, in the top 10, in the bottom 15. It doesn't matter. You're going to find something that you can really sink your teeth into.
Oh, yeah. It's just like anything. Anything can happen right now. And anything can happen, and it's happening everywhere.
Oh, Raphael's getting real close back there. The Dipping Sauce making the move right now. He's ahead. Dipping Sauce is holding on the outside. Well, he tried the cutback.
Entirely passed.
Entirely past. You have to consider from that point how easy Raphael made it look. Is the damage a factor?
Ooh.
Yeah, as you say that,
Ouch.
I think Raphael got a little wide and caused some little sparks to
That
fly.
was a little.
He almost hit the wall.
Sparky.
Gotta break the back if you were driving an LMP2 in real life.
Yes, and you know, a thing with iRacing that's a little bit more forgiving is that these LMP2 cars can take at least a little bit of a hit. In the Sebring 12 hours, as actually just broadcasted, finished, I believe, yesterday, right?
Yes.
So there were a few incidents there involving LMP3 and LMP2 cars, and let me tell you, just a scrape of the tire barrier, and you're pretty much in the pits for 2 hours.
Yeah. Or in the case of that Cadillac, it just tapped an LMP3 and the entire right side of the front fender disintegrated.
And Raphael, as
Oh,
we've been with
yeah.
him this entire time, he's gone by dipping sauce and is knocking on the door of Chloe. Raphael
Yeah,
is on a tear.
He's on a mission, and I think he might actually succeed in this mission. We'll have to see.
We will have to see. And also, again, ahead as... Oh, I think Bracken has entered the pits. So as we saw that little drop in the order there, Bracken has entered the pits, but meanwhile, we stay here. Actually, no, we're going to go ahead and go to Lunar right now, as Lunar is also knocking on the door with AJ, with Josiah close in tow. And you can just see the give and take here. Oh, and it looks like Lunar's got a good exit, but is it enough to get to turn 1? I don't think so. He's not going to be able to get it done, and so has to move back a little bit, but he's within 2/10 and is just wanting that tail of AJ.
Sitting right there, and I think Josiah is just going to sit behind all of that and just wait for his moment as well.
Yes.
Remember, you don't have to be fighting to,
Whoa,
as they say
wide.
that.
That's what happens when you follow too closely. As I would like to point out, it is getting darker here at Sebring. We can see the lights have come on full stop.
Oh, yeah, the sun is setting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's getting dark, which
Oh,
makes
and
things far more interesting.
we've had an incident in the back. Attic Racer has, I
Oh,
believe, been
no.
involved in a crash. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened. It might have been by himself. Ooh, it could be
Must have been
maybe
a spin.
took too much of Sunset Bend. Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, way too
Oh,
much.
that's a spin.
Oh, yeah, and that'll do it.
Gotta respect the bumps out there.
Gotta respect the bumps out there. Just unable to catch that back in, and you're already going so fast because that's the fastest part of the track. I believe you're going up to, I want to say 280 kilometers an hour coming to the turn.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
That.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. So we can see Cargo right now at 275 kilometers per
Almost
hour.
280
In
down
fact.
in the slipstream.
Woo! Yes, and just hitting a bump at that speed. Good luck.
Yeah, have fun. Have a nice day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
You have two choices: hold the wheel or hold your chest. I would probably go with hold your chest and just pray. Looks like Josiah's actually gaining up on
Yes. Oh, meanwhile, I think Fezfox just passed a Moonstar. And of course,
he did.
Fez is coming out from the pits after that damage. Let's take a look at the side. Yeah, it looks like he fixed that damage, as we can see. So there was definitely some damage there. Now, there was a pass we could take a look at from earlier. It's when Danny passed Fez. I'm not sure if that is when the contact happened, but let's go ahead and take a look.
Looks like
Here's
broad daylight
Danny.
out there.
So
Yeah.
here's Danny behind, coming in through. No, I think the damage was already on there.
Maybe he had contact on lap 1.
I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Oh, but as you can
Maybe
see, it
that's
was
why.
affecting him, yes, already. So that's part of the slowdown. And then from there, yeah, no, you can see the damage is already on him. So that was not. It could have been from the beginning of the race.
Yeah, he must have gotten tapped lap 1.
But as you can see here now, Fez
Oh.
on a makeup charge, trying to regain all the positions he's lost. Meanwhile, we're going to go to Raphael here. Again, still on the back of Chloe. Chloe fending him off as best he can as we ride on board.
Here we go, going into the
Oh,
Almond
and
Straight.
Raphael gets a horrible exit going to the Almond
no.
Straight. I think he might have just not been able to capitalize on the grip there. As meanwhile, Dex has just set the fastest lap of the race with a 147.19.
Oh,
And Danny heads into the pits. I wonder if Danny suffered some damage. Maybe there was contact before. Maybe.
There must have been. Or
Could be
maybe
that, or
it's
could be strategy.
It could be strategy. We are nearing the halfway mark.
As we see the wipers activate.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Miss button.
Pocket sand.
Yeah, there have been
Pockets.
rumors all around. Oh! Chloe hits the curb a little bit, and that unsettles the car, but manages to hold it. Raphael just has to stick to 8th place.
And chilling, just chilling, checking, I guess doing a wiper check while he's behind there.
And
But,
just a note, because this is an hour race, there are still drivers that are going to have to pit. All of these drivers are going to have to pit at one point for fuel and maybe tires. Now, we saw in Okayama, the strategy there for the top 5 was not to take tires. Ooh, Chloe getting a little squiggly with it, maybe feeling those tires, as I was talking about earlier. But they did not take tires on their last stint. Oh, Lunar and Josiah, I believe, are fighting through Gendenbane Bend coming through Le Mans Curve. Whoa! Whoa!
yeah, it looks like Josie actually was able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, just
It's
barely.
still-
But, you know, just Josiah got past, but then Lunar got past, and then Josiah got past again. Let's take a look at that move, because that's a risky place to do it. It's coming through Tower Curve. Oh, it just gets a horrible
better
exit
exit.
going to Flying Fortress straight through the Bishop Bend. Oh, coming through side by side. This is a very risky place to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, but manages to get by. Whew, and what a pass. Wow, that's, you talk about fighting for your position. That's how you do it.
Heart check.
Of course, Lunar is not going to take that lying down. Lunar is going to be on the bumper of Josiah, waiting for the opportunity to strike again. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to Raphael, as Raphael is going to make the move on Chloe.
Oh.
Chloe's way wide. I wonder
Chloe
what
through
happened
the
there.
gurney bend into the hairpin turn. This is very crucial, getting the good braking point there.
Better
Oh,
exit
goes a
speed
little
from Chloe,
wide.
I see.
That's going to affect the exit a little bit, but Chloe can't get the over-under done, and Raphael has gained yet another position. And just so you know, Raphael right now has gained 12 places since the start of this race.
This man is on a mission, and he's not going to be stopped.
I
at
mean, if
any
he
point.
can keep this pace up, he's going to be in the top 5 by the end of this race. Oh, as I say that,
they both go wide.
They both go wild, letting Dipping Sauce with the double overtake.
Dipping sauce.
Dipping Sauce flashes his light saying, "Thank you," and goes away, gaining 2 spots after being
And they're
behind
still
for
fighting.
so long. Wow.
Yeah. Like we said, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Commentary curse at its best.
Oh, exactly. Let's go ahead and actually take a look at that one more time from Dipping Sauce's point of view.
See the 2 cars.
Dipping
racing
Sauce
over
coming
there.
in through, going into Tower Turn, and they just follow each other way off track, and Dipping's just like, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Oh, and let's, wow, that's, that's interesting, and we'll take a look again from Chloe's point of view. And again, see, just goes wide with Raphael, and they both can't take the track. Chloe manages not to make contact and gets by,
Oh.
managing to salvage something from that. So you gotta admire that.
Yeah, and you can see going into the turn, they did get a little loose, but they were able to save it, thankfully.
And oh, we've heard this story before. Raphael losing 2 places. Well, looks like he's on the way to get them back.
Yeah, here we go again. This has probably been the most interesting fight so far. It's been non-stop.
Yeah, very much so. As Joker does take the pits here. So we have reached the halfway point with about 32 minutes into this race. And so this is where the strategies are going to start to play out. Right now, it seems the average pit time that we're seeing is around 25 seconds without tires, although these are from drivers that have came in earlier. And as it gets darker and cooler, it's going to be quicker. The tires are going to be quicker. The track's going to be quicker. But there is one equalizer here, and that is the night. As I say that, Jordan Johnson manages to get in the 146s with a 146.9 as the best lap so far in this race.
Yeah, and he's starting to really show it. He's up to a second and a half on Dex, and I think at this point maybe Jordan was saving their tires early on, and now they're really starting to push to get as far as they can away. Because I noticed that Dex is also having a little bit of trouble. Maybe his tires are starting to wear off.
Yeah, but this is where you want to take it easy. I mean, you know you're second. You know you are far ahead of the next person, which is Akash, which is another second back. But you really want to try and see if you can stay in there, as this is exactly what can happen. We are coming up to lap traffic here. I think that is the...
That's Snowy, I think.
I think... Is that car 986? No, that's car 919. Yes, that's Snow Dog.
Yep, they're coming up on Snow Dog.
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky, because Snow Dog is slow, can hold them up, and this is a tricky section coming around here. It's trying to let Jordan by here, going on the outside, and it does. But meanwhile, that lets Dex up with a great advantage, as he's going to try and make the move for the lead. No, he tucks back in, but just like that, 1 second gone, and now you're within 2/10.
Yep, we said this before. Lap traffic can change anything.
Wow, just like that, all of the effort that Jordan has been putting to get some gap in between decks has gone to waste, and now they are back at it.
Yeah, I would say Dex is probably very happy about that, because he was gaining a nice big gap, but thanks to lap traffic, he was able to regain it.
Oh, definitely. I would be too. I'd be very happy with that.
I would be too.
Jordan certainly isn't.
No, as you can see, Jordan is just like, ugh, I gotta do all this work to get a gap in again. All right, here we go. This you can see, just like that. I mean, within one lap, he was 2/10. Now it's 5/10. It's just half a second. That's what Jordan does. The determination to keep up front. It's not about staying in front all the time. It's dealing with what you have and what happens, and being able to keep going. Meanwhile, Denny, I believe, went off the track a little bit. So did Moonstar. Something must be going on around in the back, because I'm taking a look, and I'm seeing quite a bit of drivers going off track. That might have just been from the Gurney Bend. That might have just been Gurney Bend shenanigans.
Maybe. I don't see anybody with damage.
No, I think it might have been just Gurney Bend shenanigans there.
Probably.
Heading back up there. Dex, of course, trying to keep up, but already Jordan's pulling the gap at 8/10 now. I mean, Jordan's just on a flyer.
Yeah, I think, but then here comes the next question. What is Jordan thinking when it comes to strategy? He probably wanted a bigger gap before he goes.
Oh, and Jordan goes into the pits
right now.
Oh, maybe that did something. Maybe battling with the lap traffic changed the strategy a little, because it's a little early. Last time we saw the leaders pit, it wasn't until near the end of the race, so Jordan may be trying for the overcut here.
Maybe. As he comes in on his pit stop, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll take a look at what Jordan does. Right now, the average pit time is around 27 to 28 seconds, and I believe that is with tires. I don't think Jordan is going to take tires.
I doubt it. I don't think he was pushing very hard and probably trying to save as much of his tire as he could so it would last the whole stint. So more than likely, it's going to be fuel.
So Jordan is pulling out now. The stop was 24 seconds.
So maybe he did go for tires.
So, yeah, possibly. He may have been feeling that it wasn't good enough, so decided to go out there and put fresh rubber on there. But meanwhile, that's just let Dex in the lead. And Josiah again entering the pits here. So yeah, everyone's strategy is starting to play out right now.
Yeah, we're starting to see the strategies come into play, and it's going to have to... We'll see where everybody lands. Maybe Dex is trying to go for the undercut, and gain as much time as he can, because he has been fairly close to Jordan. So maybe if he pushes just a little bit too hard, he will be hard enough, he'll be able to keep the lead.
Maybe, but we'll have to see. What Dex has to do right now is put in the best laps he can. And Dex is pitting, so is the Cash behind. So Jordan with 1 lap of an advantage. Jordan is 29 seconds back at the moment, but coming in close. We'll see if Jordan Johnson can get back ahead. This may be close. But we'll see what the strategy is here. We're going to follow Jordan, as Jordan right now is going into the Ullman straight. Dex and Akash are still in the pits. We'll see what Dex does. Will they also employ the same strategy as Jordan? It may be just fuel is 24 seconds as I see Dex
the final corner.
Dex is taking a little longer. Dex is a 25.27 on the pits. And Jordan with a 24.02. Jordan's going to take the lead. They're coming out now. Here comes Akash. And they're side by side and close. But Jordan does make it ahead. But now there's a 3-way battle. However, they may be on cold tires here.
Yeah, so maybe it may come down to that. And also, Jordan with the faster tires, he may be able to pull away faster.
Yes, but you know, it's unfortunate because I believe Jordan had 0.8 on Dex, and Dex had a longer pit stop. Yet, here is Dex right on the bumper of Jordan. I don't think Jordan had a very good outlap.
No, I don't think so either, because that was way too close for the differing pit stops.
Very much so. And now this opens the door again. I mean, all 3 drivers, again, within a second of each other. Again.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
No, I'm not either.
Jordan got a
little loose, but making it work out. I mean, I couldn't tell the difference between where I'm standing and the timing booth.
No, but I definitely could see that he did get a little squirrely going out of that corner.
Yeah, it did get a little squirrely there. Just not really on it.
No, I wonder what he's planning.
I'm not sure. Maybe Jordan is having trouble getting some heat into the tires. Dex is knocking on the door from the straight. You can see how much it pulls. Jordan goes a little wide. Dex is holding it on the inside. And yet still, Jordan is getting great exits out of his car. It's one of the things that is allowing him to hold the lead as well as he is.
Yeah, definitely. And he's definitely trying to gain a gap. As Cash goes wide.
Yeah, Cash is going wide, but they're still holding it in there. The battle is still really feisty here under the bright lights at Sebring.
Yep, we see. I think Jordan's starting to pull away now, but that may change very soon.
I don't know. The gap is just really close. Oh, but if Dex goes wide like that at the hairpin turn, he's gonna lose more time.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to do that, especially with somebody like Jordan in front of you, because that means it could just seal his win, and it will be win number 3 for Jordan.
Yeah, meanwhile, Raphael back here, deja vu. I've been in this place before, knocking on the door of Danny, trying to get back to 8th place.
He goes wide.
Oh, Danny goes really wide. And Raphael is coming in close. I don't think... Is he going to try the dive? He's
I don't
close.
think it's
Oh,
far
he's
enough.
pulling it up.
Considering it,
just to
no.
make sure you're in the mirrors. Trying to make Danny make another mistake. Ooh, Raphael just taking on all comers again, but is still down a place when he was in 7th, wanting to get back up to where Dipping Sauce is, but he's got some work to do. And in the meanwhile, he's got to get by Danny, who's in front of him.
And I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to my relative, but I don't know if Raphael is pit either. If he didn't, then that's going to be a thing contention because I believe. Chloe...
so. Everyone that is currently running has pitted.
Oh, okay.
So everyone should be good to the end of the race.
So it's now just a matter of whose place is where.
And we are going to be shifting back and forth between Raphael and the leaders here. As, again, ooh, little squirrely on Jordan there, but, I mean, he's making it look easy. It's almost as if he wants to have those rear tires kick out on him a little bit.
And, that wouldn't surprise me. Some drivers like it that way. It's more comfortable for them. It's a bit risky, but still.
It is definitely risky. It puts more heat in the rear tires. And another thing that it also does is, excuse me, it wears out the rear tires more, and you'll end up sliding even more. You get to the point where, is it really gaining you time, or now are you just losing grip?
Yeah, and that wouldn't be good, especially in the end strategy, because remember, Dex and Akash pit after them, which means they have the fresher tires.
Right.
Here they come down into the bend. No gain, but actually, as I say that, I think Akash is gaining on Dex.
Akash seems to like that section a little more. He seems a little bit more planted, but doesn't get the good exit he needs out of the Le Mans curve.
Yeah, and here they come to Sunset. No gain. Jordan cuts it in nice and tight.
See, Jordan has been cutting in Sunset Bend really nicely. Whatever bumps that are on that, he seems to be taking really well, lap after lap.
Yeah, and with each
Meanwhile,
lap,
Chloe is side by side with Raphael. Ooh, in the risky section, coming to Gendabine Bend, manages to make it work, as we saw before with, I believe it was Dipping Sauce. Or was it Josiah, I believe, earlier? That was on there Josiah. As well. It was Josiah, yes.
Danny's retired.
Oh no, I see Danny is crashed. Oh, and Fez Fox has crashed as well. Oh. Oh, as we can see Fez Fox recovering. But let's quickly go back to Danny and see what happened. So we're on board with Danny now. He's coming into the bend. Does he hit the grass or does he just lose it?
No, just on the braking, under the corner.
He loses it, and I think he might have been hit from behind. Let's go ahead and take a look one more time.
Where is Fez?
Let's take a look. Give me a second. Let's take a look. Oh, Raphael was behind him. He just loses it. And Raphael can't do anything else. Yeah, they did touch.
Touch after the spin.
That's unfortunate. And Fez Fox, I believe it was just a spin. I don't see any damage, and Fez Fox looks to have recovered rather nicely.
Yeah,
he's a spin on their own.
Yeah. And Raphael,
which does happen, especially with these things.
I think I will kind of point out myself here. I think the commentators Okay. I believe that is my microphone finally enabled. I apologize. We are having some technical difficulties, but we are working on getting it back up immediately. Suzuka, are you still there with us?
Hello, I am still here.
Perfect. So we still have the commentary bots here. Right now, we are not getting any audio from iRacing. We are currently working on getting it back as soon as we can. But at the moment, Jordan Johnson is still leading, and Raphael still having a short battle with Chloe. We will get the audio back as soon as we can. Ooh, excitement from all around, even from us here in the broadcasting booth. Huh? What do you say, Suzuka?
This race is definitely spicing up, considering it's the last 10 minutes. I did say this before. The last 10 minutes, these guys really want to be pushing for the final positions of this race.
Definitely. Now, I apologize to the stream. You will see something pop up on the iRacing stream so we can actually get the audio back up for you guys. So give me just a moment. Yeah, unfortunately, we are having sound issues here. Normally, we would have it through the audio for us here, but we are unable to actually get it back up and running right now. That's unfortunate, but we will continue even if we cannot get the sound back up for the end of this race for you guys. I believe we have some sound. And I believe we are back. Give me just a minute. We're getting it up here now for you guys. Okay. We are good. We've got the audio back up and running. I apologize for the inconvenience, but we are back up. Wow, what excitement.
Yeah.
So yes, we are down to the final 8 minutes here. And so far, our positions are looking like Jordan in first, Dex in second, Akash in third, followed by AJ and Lunar, rounding out your top 5 as 4th and 5th. Then rounding out the top 10 right now, we have Josiah, Dipping Sauce. Then we're on board with Chloe, with Raphael and Fez Fox rounding out the top 10. And then, as the remaining runners here, we have Snowdog, Moonstar, and Zeem. All still in this one here. So we still have about 7.5 minutes to go, but still a lot can happen. And I'll bet you Raphael, I think at this point, is just saving it to the very end. What do you think, Suzuka?
I'm not sure. Raphael still up Chloe's tail. Maybe finding a mistake, but staying relatively where they are when it comes to the gap.
Yes. Do you think that damage earlier on Danny might have actually done something? That could be a reason why he's unable to capitalize.
I have no idea. But as far as I'm concerned, what I see so far, Raphael's holding on nicely despite which we speculate is damage from whatever happened.
Yes, definitely. I mean, but looking at the replay earlier, I mean, there was a bit of contact. I mean, Wolfin, being that as it may, you know, how do you really avoid something like that? I mean, you're so close, you're racing so hard, and someone spins out. Is there really anything you can do?
Not really. You try to, you hope that you don't get too much damage, and if you do, you just live through it and try to keep going.
Oh, you can see even at this place, Chloe just had a bad exit, really squirrely coming out of the sunset bend, but still manages to hold it on just for now. And Raphael, I mean, running out of time here. We got 6 minutes. So I believe around 3 laps to go. I believe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It'll be about three to go. Because average has been about 140 to 150.
Maybe,
Or,
maybe,
not 140,
maybe 4,
145 to
depending on
150.
how the leaders do. Ooh, Raphael getting really close to Chloe now. Oh, and Snow Dog. Looks like Snow Dog had some trouble. Snow Dog
looks like he went
crashed,
wide.
maybe spun a little. Yeah, went wide. Back on the racing course, though. That's Moonstar behind. Moonstar. Wow, there's a race here for 12th. Moonstar and Snow Dog now with the mistake. Can Moonstar capitalize? They're coming up close here. We'll take a look.
Here they come, Moonstar.
The Moonstar letting it go just a little bit. Maybe not, but wow, that was a close one. Snow Dog, maybe a little lucky to have not have hit the wall there as Snow Dog pilots away. Meanwhile, Raphael side by side with Chloe going through Le Mans curve, but looks like Chloe wants that cut back, and he's in the draft there. Very good slipstream for Chloe. Will Chloe take it to the outside? He will, but he'll back off just a little bit, maybe trying for the cutback. Oh, Raphael, may have to lift a little bit on the exit. Chloe really wide. Ooh, I think Chloe going wide might have affected his chance of getting by Raphael. And the thing with Raphael is once he gets by, he's quick. You could just see that there. The timings, Raphael instantly just wants to get that gap away. And I don't think Raphael is going to catch Dipping Sauce, or might. I don't know. There's still 4 minutes to go. We may have some excitement here.
And absolutely, we're just gonna. It's very, very close with only over 4 minutes to go. Less than 4 minutes to
As
go.
you can see Dipping Sauce here. Oh, yes. Raphael is definitely catching Dipping Sauce here. And I think Chloe is too. And the battle we were saying earlier, Moonstar has gotten by Snow Dog.
The fights are everywhere.
And Akash, meanwhile, has set the fastest lap with a 146.8. So, I mean, the pace is there. It's just, you cannot really see the benefit if you cannot move it onward.
As we go to Dipping Sauce, they're making it. They go a little bit wide, but not too bad.
Ooh,
It's getting closer and closer with the minutes ticking by.
The minutes ticking by. It's definitely trying to push. It's, as of note, I mean, Dex is going to also try and push. He needs to push here if Dex wants to catch up with the leader, Jordan. Otherwise, it's going to be 1, 2, 3.
I think that's a better exit.
Yeah, definitely gets a better exit. Dipping Sauce having to defend, going a little side a little bit, stays in the center. Raphael darts inside. Coming in close, side by side. Going to turn 2. Ooh, Raphael backs up, thinks better of it. That's caused Chloe to catch up, making a almost 3-second gap few laps before, now down to 4/10. And now we have a 3-way battle for 7th coming into the final laps of this race.
Yeah, I think we're going to stick with this one for a while. It's
Raphael's going to make the move. He's going to dive on the outside. Ooh, he's going to think better of it. Oh, all 3 of them make touch and make contact with each other. And Chloe spins.
Oh, no.
Oh, Chloe spins from the contact. Oh, that's heartbreaking. And you can see, I think Dipping was just trying to park it on the apex of that corner and then causing Chloe to go back. Let's just take a look at what happened with Chloe there real quickly. So again, on board, they're fighting. There's Raphael, and there's Dipping Sauce ahead. Raphael goes wide, comes back in. Oh, yeah, runs into the back of Raphael and just spins. And that's a heartbreak, especially when you were battling so hard to stay in there.
But here comes Raphael once more.
Raphael once more, and he may get it. Meanwhile, Dex is trying to slowly catch the gap here as we come into the final laps of this one. Oh, it's lap traffic again, and the lap traffic is blinking. That's not good. But Dex manages to make it work. However, it does hold him up, and all that work he tried to put in to get closer has gone to waste. Now back down to a 2nd, and again, it's give and take. When you... Ooh, Dex goes wide. Maybe a little desperate. Maybe a little desperate coming into the final lap here. As
I
we
think
go to
Raphael
Jordan
got past
Johnson,
him.
here we go. Oh, meanwhile, Raphael I believe Josiah got past Lunar. Lunar did go off track, but we're going to keep it here with Jordan, as I believe this will be the final lap coming up of the race, as we are ticking down the seconds here at Sebring.
10 seconds. It's gonna be close. Will it be one last lap or the end of the
No,
race?
this
No,
is
it's the
the
end.
That
end.
is the
Jordan
end.
comes around the final lap, and again, for the third time, takes the win here at Sebring. The third win in the Simufur LMP2 Championship. Followed by Dex behind, then Akash. AJ coming down back from the line, from the Almond Straight, coming around the corner. He's going to take 4th place, as he's got a comfortable little race to himself, taking 4th place here.
Yep, and not too far
Not
behind.
too far behind is Josiah also, and then right behind with Lunar, and Josiah manages to get by Lunar, as Lunar actually made a mistake in the final lap to allow Josiah to take it here. And of course, Raphael, wow, you have to give all credit where credit is due. After everything that he's been through, he manages to get back to 7th, up 12 places. Your hard charger of the day, Raphael Hall, taking 7th place, followed by Dipping Sauce, and then Chloe with a heartbreak of a finish, battling for the same positions as Raphael and Dipping, just unfortunately on that last lap could not make it work.
Yeah, but that's right. Unfortunately, it is what it is, as we see.
Yeah, and then Fez, Moonstar, and
White
Snow
Flag
Dog,
back.
and then Zim. And just to point out real quick, if we actually take a look, we'll look back at what happened to Lunar for Raphael to actually make up that last place. So Lunar coming down. This is to the final lap now, is coming in here. And this is turn 1. Ooh, looks like it's the wall. Goes
Hits the wall.
wide outside. Ooh, and remember, Raphael is way back there, so I think that damage is what did it. And then here's the pass with Raphael. Raphael, there it is. Yeah, it's coming through here.
Oh, let's see what Raphael did.
this was-
wow! Deep on the inside.
Deep on the inside, coming through there. I believe that was actually on Dipping Sauce.
Oh.
It was Josiah that passed Luna for the last position, but what a pass from Raphael too. Also, Josiah, let's just take a look at back that highlight up and just see when Lunar went off track. This should have been just a simple pass. I believe Lunar went off on the hairpin here. Oh yeah, just was going
yeah,
really
but it's
slow and just let him by. And so from that, Josiah manages to take it here. Wow, what a race. What a
for
race
sure.
here today. Wow. And there you have it. Jordan Johnson doing the celebratory donuts here.
Third time winner.
Third time winner, 3 times here. And wow, what a result for Jordan. From flag to finish, manages to take it, only letting Dex by in the pits, and close racing overall as he loses his rear wing. But wow, taking it through. Whew, what a race. Suzuka, go ahead. Let's the results here for Sebring today.
Alright, we have our race winner, of course, Jordan Johnson, taking a very dominant victory over here. Second is Dex, who stayed quite close to Jordan in this race. Third is Akash. Those 3 have been battling for the most part of this race. And then fourth is AJ, followed by Josiah, Lunar, Raphael, the man on a mission from somewhere in the back up to P7. And then you have Divixos and Chloe involved in the battles between them and Raphael. And then to finish up the top 10, we have Festfox. Our remaining drivers are Moonstar, Snowdog, Zim, Danny, Joker, Nate, Attic, Bracken, and behind them there are a few more drivers. There is Blade, Bosch Boy and Sierra.
Yes, and wow, again, great racing by all. And the highlights, throughout the race, I mean, definitely for myself, my driver of the day, Raphael, all credit to you. I believe back from 15th to make it into the top 10 in 7th, fighting tooth and nail all the way.
Oh, for sure, Raphael was definitely part of most of the action over here. But another driver of the day here, Jordan Johnson, holding on quite well from the competition that Dex and Akash are giving. Must be very strong to be holding on to that pressure, for sure.
Must be, for sure. I mean, from the flag to finish, even with Dex behind, Jordan just kept it in there the entire way. A dominant performance overall. Way to hold it in there. And so that'll conclude today's race. As again, you have your winner, Jordan Johnson, Dex in second, and your third podium finisher, Akash, here at Sebring. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast of the Simufur LMP2 iRacing Championship. I have been Paliku'i Grant, joined alongside Wolfin and Suzuka Shar. And we all wish you a good night and hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time here at the Simufur LMP2 iRacing Championship.